President Biden and the First Lady visited Buffalo, New York yesterday in the wake of Saturday's mass shooting at a grocery store that killed 10 people. The president declared evil will not win in America and said the nation must reject the lie of the racist replacement theory espoused by the accused gunman. Let's bring in White House correspondent for Politico and co-author of The Playbook, Eugene Daniels. He also is a Morning Joe senior contributor. Eugene, good morning. It's great to see you. You and our buddy Jonathan Lemire, also with us this morning, have some new reporting on President Biden's decision not to name names over the Buffalo shooting. He said, we have to expose these people, but didn't name them. What did you and John find out?
Yeah, yesterday we saw the president do two things. One is kind of play his comforter-in-chief role. I think he's often most comfortable, and people say people around him say he's often better when he's doing that. But also, like you said, calling out racism, talking about needing to root it out. But as he was talking about it, and he did this yesterday at an AAPI event here at the White House, talking about the need to expose everyone who believes this racist replacement theory. Like you said, he's not naming names, and that is something that is very deliberate. It was a conversation, multiple conversations that happened in this White House because the president talked about institutions and the people responsible. He made passing references and has made passing references to people with TV shows and unnamed politicians who are pushing this theory. But what the administration doesn't want to do and what they've decided to do at this point is not give any more attention to the replacement theory. They also, more importantly, don't want to get into a tit for tat with someone like Tucker Carlson or the number 3 Republican in the House, Elise Stefanik, on this. And one person told me these demagogues would love nothing more than the oxygen and attention that comes from the president blasting them. This White House doesn't want to take from the substance of the issue, where they feel like they want to be talking about the racism, how the country needs to come together. But there are folks who are supportive of this administration, who often meet with this administration, who do want to see the president call these folks out. I was told yesterday by one advocate that they want to see the president called a spade a spade. Reverend Al Sharpton told me that at the very least, he and some other civil rights leaders want to see the president call out Fox News, for example. So maybe the president, he said, doesn't want to elevate someone like Tucker Carlson to in a tit for tat with the president of the United States, but that he should be calling out Fox News and other organizations and social media companies who kind of lay back and allow these kinds of things to grow on the organization and in those organizations. I will say, Willie, that it's possible that this could change depending on the amount of pressure that the president gets, this White House gets, but we will have to keep our eyes on that one as it moves forward.
Hey, Eugene, it's Jonathan. Happy to share the best-looking byline in the business with you. Certainly, the words Tucker Carlson were put to the president on the tarmac yesterday in Buffalo, and he, to your point, didn't touch it. He still doesn't want to name names in that way, but there is some growing sense that he may have to at some point. But the other moment of frustration we saw from the president, and certainly his ability to empathize, to comfort on full display yesterday. We also saw some real anger from him denouncing this racist theory, but also in his call to get more guns off the streets. In his speech, a fiery call for Congress to do more. Later, on the tarmac, as we were leaving Buffalo on the way back to Washington, in a far quieter voice, acknowledging that's going to be very hard, and he's not really sure what can be done. What's the very latest from the folks you've been talking to in the building behind you this morning as to what they can do on guns, either via Congress or executive order?
Yeah, they are under a lot of pressure, and they're also very frustrated in this White House, as you know, Jonathan, with the amount of things that they can't do, right? They do want to see all types of different pieces of legislation that the president has even told Congress he'd like to see passed. But there's no vote for that, right? There are not 60 votes for that, and there's no carve out for the filibuster at this point being discussed in any serious way on gun control in this country. But they are talking about how and looking at what are the things they can do to nibble around the edges, as this administration has had to do often because of the very thin split in margin of error they have on Congress, in the House and in the Senate. And so they're talking about continuing to find ways. What can the Department of Justice do? The Department of Justice met with some folks, the civil rights leaders this weekend, talking about the kinds of things that they want to do. We weren't told what they promised, but we're told that they were going to continue to take this issue really seriously. And so there's a lot lot of frustration here, and that's going to continue to build. And I will say advocates are hoping that frustration, as it builds, will force the president to do some things that maybe aren't on the table now that they have been pushing this White House to do. Most importantly, have a summit here at the White House, both on white supremacy and on gun control.
Eugene Daniels reporting for us at the White House on his byline with Jonathan Lemire this morning. Eugene, thanks so much. Always great to see you. Still ahead.